Good morning, everyone. It's time to go on the record.
We need bipartisan solutions. We need bipartisan cooperation.
Our guest today is freshman Congressman Seth Moulton, new to the House Armed Services Committee. He is outspoken on how we should fight ISIS and why President Obama is wrong on ground troops.
Salary structure here at Boston 2024 is very much in line with past U.S. bids.
A flap over big bucks for the Boston Olympic campaign and the politically connected who are benefiting.
Former Governor Deval Patrick comes on board to help lobby for Boston 2024. Good move?
It's been a really tough couple of months for a lot of people who really depend on that system.
The MBTA rider givebacks, too little, too late, and where does the fractured system go from here?
From WCPB Boston, the inside word from Washington to Beacon Hill, today's newsmakers are going on the record.
Good morning, everyone, and although it isn't actually St. Patrick's Day, happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm Ed Harding, along with Center 5's political reporter Janet Wu. Our guest today is Congressman Seth Moulton. The Salem Democrat is the newest member of the Massachusetts congressional delegation and is outspoken on the matter of Iraq. A decorated former Marine, the 36-year-old served 4 tours in Iraq. And as I mentioned, today is not St. Patrick's Day, but Boston observes St. Patrick's Day today. Later this afternoon, Southie, you're going to be marching in the parade, and you're making history with a group of gay veterans. Tell us what you're doing this afternoon.
That's right. Well, I'm proud to be marching with OutVets, the first gay groups that's been allowed to march in the parade. And it's gay veterans. It's people who have literally fought for our freedoms. So I think that gay rights is the civil rights fight of our generation, and these people are on the front lines.
Well, thank you for being on OTR this morning. We appreciate it.
Moving on to more serious foreign affairs subjects. If President Obama succeeds in signing a nuclear agreement with Iran, do you believe that it will survive past his presidency, and should it?
I think it will. I think that the administration has every incentive to negotiate a good deal, a strong deal. Iran acquiring a nuclear weapon is the single greatest threat to our national security in the world today. So we have to make sure that we have a solution to this. We have to make sure we prevent them from acquiring a nuclear weapon. But we need to pursue that diplomatically. Doesn't mean we should take the military option off the table, but everybody wants a diplomatic deal. That's the only reasonable solution here.
Which leads us directly to the question, is it appropriate for 40 of your Republican, 40 plus of your Republican senator counterparts to publicly denounce the viability of the agreement once the president leaves office? Was that appropriate?
Absolutely not. We don't even know what the terms of the deal are.
Is it treasonous?
Look, if you want to offer a critique of the deal after it's been signed and we understand the terms, then that's totally fair, and we can debate that at the time. But to try to undermine the negotiations before they've even concluded is wrong, It's clearly a partisan effort, and there's been a long-standing tradition in American politics that partisanship ends at the water's edge, that we're united when we face our adversaries and enemies. And with an adversary as serious as Iran, we need to be united today.
Is it as serious as treasonous as some are screaming?
Well, look, I'm not going to contribute to the partisan fight over what it is and what it isn't. It's just wrong, and we shouldn't be doing it, and I hope we can move past it so that we can conclude a good deal and ensure that Iran doesn't get a nuclear weapon.
Do you think it's a big enough distraction over there that it would actually jeopardize the negotiations?
Well, we just don't know, but it's certainly not helpful. And right now, we need to be on the same team. We need all the help that we can get to make sure Iran doesn't get a nuke.
Moving over to Iraq, you recently returned from Iraq. Tell us a little bit about your trip, and this time you were over there as a congressman, so it's a little bit different. What do you see that's changed, and do you think President Obama has a valid argument for sending more troops over there at this point?
Well, I do think that ISIS is a very serious threat. They've brutally killed Americans abroad. They've made clear their intentions to kill Americans here at home. We need to address the threat of transnational terrorism. But I'm not convinced that putting troops on the ground is the way to do it. Fundamentally, the problem in Iraq today, the reason why we're talking about sending troops back just 4 years after we took them out, is a political failure. The Iraqi government has become so sectarian that its own army just quit. And so if the problem is political, we need a political solution. I'd be much happier seeing a lot of political advisors going to Baghdad than military advisors to get the Iraqi government back on track so that the Iraqi army can do its job.
Have you given this message to the White House since you've been back?
So I have been talking behind the scenes to the administration to try to nudge the policy in the right direction. I think that's the kind of helpful, I think that's the kind of help that a member of Congress can provide. You don't have to always be out there in the media complaining about this or that. We need to we need to be united in finding a good solution to a very difficult problem in the Middle East.
They have heard this argument before, but do you think your voice is perhaps a little bit louder, a little bit bigger because of your experience and your background?
Well, I hope so. I'll tell you, one of the hard things about going back to Iraq for the first time since I left as a Marine is seeing so many of the things that we fought so hard to win in the surge gone to waste. A lot of our success has been squandered. And so the question we need to be asking is, what went wrong in Iraq from 2010 to 2013 that the politics completely fell apart, and now we have to go back? You know, Ambassador Crocker and General Petraeus, when they reported to Congress on the surge, they said, we've made tremendous military progress, in fact, far exceeded expectations, but we haven't made the political progress that we need. We built the largest U.S. embassy in the world in Baghdad, but then we left it half full. We can't make that mistake again. We've got to ensure a long-term political solution to the crisis in Iraq.
I'd like to bring the conversation to the Marathon bombing trial. And you know, the country is riveted to the Marathon bombing trial. I'm sure in many corners around the world, people are riveted to what happens with the Marathon bombing trial here in Boston. Here's the question. No one can see the victims because you can't have cameras in federal court. What do you think about cameras in a federal court? I mean, you can have cameras in a state court. You can't have them in a federal court. What is your opinion on that?
Well, I think that there are some good arguments for and against. We certainly need a transparent judicial system, but it's also important that we protect victims. I mean, what happens when you have a victim who is a child who should really be protected? So I'm going to carefully consider any bill that comes before me on this issue. You
can't even hear that. You can't not only see it, you can't hear it. There can't be audio recordings in it also as well. And under the umbrella of the American people on the courts, shouldn't they be open, I guess, is the basic question.
I'm one of the very few members of Congress and of our delegation who's not a lawyer, but I've talked to some lawyers and to some district attorneys.
You don't play one on television either,
I don't play one on television either. So I have a little bit more to learn about this issue, but I can tell you that there are good views on either side. Everybody wants transparency. Transparency is critical to our system of government, but you also need to protect victims and witnesses, and so there, I think, are some good reasons why the law's in place.
And here's a great reason to start the OTR Pop Quiz. Are you ready?
All right.
You have the green. there was a confident, all right, wasn't there? You have a green tie on, so it's a St. Patrick's Day themed OTR Pop Quiz. Question 1. Tuesday, President Obama will celebrate his 7th St. Patrick's Day at the White House. He will also give a special guest from Ireland to discuss issues of mutual concern. Who is coming to the president? Who's coming to see the president to celebrate the green?
I think it's the Prime Minister.
Enda Kenny. They do a shamrock ceremony first started by President Harry Truman, so yes. In Ireland, Enda Kenny has another title. What is the Gaelic word for that? Now, if you know this one, you're going to do real well.
I have no idea.
Taoiseach, since March of 2011. Taoiseach.
Now, how is that spelled?
T-A-O-I-S-E-A-C-H.
Wow.
It's Gaelic for Taoiseach.
Learn something every day.
We continue with the OTR Pop Quiz. Stay with us.